Hi and welcome to this series where I'm going through the ITIL 4 practices individually, and I'll give you the main headline points you should be aware of to help build that ITIL 4 base knowledge. Don't forget to subscribe, click the bell and you'll get the notifications. Okay, so let's get to it. Today I'm going to be covering off measurement and reporting management within ITIL 4, which comes from the general management practice. So really quick recap: practice, set of organisational resources designed for performing work or accomplishing an objective. There are three types of practices. There's three areas, namely general management practices, of which there's 14, service management practices, of which there's 17, and technical management practices, of which there are 3. For those of you that are good at maths, you will work out there are 34 practices in total. All of the practices, all of those 34 practices are subject to the 4 dimensions: organisation and people, information technology, partners and suppliers, value streams and processes, and of course you've got the PESTLE factors in there as well. So if we look at the measurement and reporting practice, so the purpose of measurement and reporting is to support good decision making and continual improvement by decreasing the level of uncertainty. I'm going to repeat that. So it's about good decision making and continual improvement by decreasing the level of uncertainty. This is achieved through the collection of relevant data on various managed objects and the valid assessment of this data in an appropriate context. So managed objects include, but are not limited to, products and services, practices, value chain activities, teams, individuals, suppliers, partners, and the organisation as a whole. So if we dig a little deeper into measurement and reporting, so one of the really crucial elements of this practice is about understanding your organisation's goals. So not necessarily from an IT perspective, but from a business perspective. What is the organisation actually trying to do? So that's almost step one. What is it the company, the business, the organisation, globally, nationally, over various continents, what's it actually trying to do? And then once you've established those organisation goals, base your metrics on them, link them to it, think through, okay, well, if that's what we're trying to do, what would be a good metric in order to measure and to report on that? Link them to those organisational goals, make them interconnect. So, for example, metrics can be based on things like the company's profits, the company's growth, the competitive advantage, time to market perhaps, retention of customers, operational activities, operational services. 2 terms you will hear on a very regular basis whenever people talk about measurement and reporting, regardless of whether it's ITIL or elsewhere, that there's 2 acronyms, CSF and KPIs. So a CFS stands for critical success factor, and that's a necessary precondition for the achievement of an intended results. Key performance indicator is KPI, and that's an important metric used to evaluate the success in meeting an objective. So I'm going to repeat those 2 definitions because those are important when it comes to the measurement and reporting practice. Critical success factor, CSF, a necessary precondition for the achievement of intended results. And then KPI, key performance indicator, an important metric used to evaluate the success in meeting an objective. CSFs should be clear, they should be well understood, So your critical success factors, make sure you understand them. What are they? Make sure they're clear, well understood, and then define KPIs from them. Define your KPIs from your CSFs. Also consider which ones are important. Quite often, as I've gone into organisations, there's vast numbers of critical success factors, key performance indicators, measurements, and you can almost become overwhelmed with them. Really think through which are the important ones, which ones map to those organisational goals. Then think about how will you present that information, how are you going to share them, are they going to be available to the entire company or to a subset, or are you going to just sit down once a month, perhaps as part of a monthly service review, in a deck of some kind with your customer? Is it going to be perhaps a dashboard of some kind? Certainly in a number of offices I've been into over the years, there's big, large flat screen TVs and monitors on the wall, and it's showing those critical success factors, those KPIs, that service level agreement, achievement levels, and quite often there's kind of numbers going up or numbers going down, or it's RAG based of some kind. But just think about how are you going to present that? Intranet, portal, monthly service review deck, a dashboard, flat screens. Perhaps it's even as simple as it's the front page on your service management tool, or it's the front page of your IT section on an intranet, or a dashboard of some kind. Final couple of moments as I just draw to a close on the measurement and reporting practice. There is a danger of over-egging KPIs. So it's all well and good putting a key performance indicator in place that measures volume or time or whatever it may be, but sometimes you have to kind of think those through. They may have the entirely opposite effect as to what you're trying to achieve. So I've certainly seen in many organisations service desk functions where they are being reported on and monitored in terms of volume or the time of the call, how long the call has been. You can understand the motives behind that, but sometimes service desk agents may get frustrated with the customer because maybe they're not following it as they might expect, and there's frustration there, or they may keep a call short and to the point and abrupt, and worst case they may cut a customer off. If it's volume based, it can promote wrong behaviour. So don't just think, oh yes, we must go for the maximum number. That there can be a negative impact on customer satisfaction there. And then the final point in terms of the service value chain. So as a reminder, the service value chain, it's part of the service value system, which has the guiding principles, the governance, that service value chain right at the centre, and the practices and continual improvement, which delivers value to your customers, to your stakeholder, your co-creation of value. In the context of measurement and reporting and the general management practice, so for the service value chain, all activities are part of the measurement and reporting. However, particular emphasis on plan, improve, design and transition, and the obtain and build element of it. But as I say, they are involved in all areas, all of those activities in that value chain. So a neat way to remember that is PIDOD. But the particular emphasis in terms of measurement and reporting is the plan, the improve, the design and transition, and the obtain and build. Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of the measurement and reporting practice. Please subscribe, please hit the bell, and you'll continue to get updates as I post more information around ITIL 4 and what you need to know. Thank you.